Welcome to the Community Health Worker Instructor course. This course will prepare you for certification as an instructor in the state of Texas. You will attain competencies in the following skills: communication, interpersonal, service coordination, capacity building, advocacy, teaching, organizational, and a knowledge base on specific health issues. Please remember to turn off autoplay in the upper right-hand corner of your screen so you won't feed into the next video. Let's begin. This video is about documentation, writing SOAP notes. Documentation is necessary to increase the quality of patient care. It facilitates communication with healthcare practitioners. It also provides the documentation that is necessary to chronicle what transpires with patients. Documentation is important for recording medical outcomes and especially for research projects. You will find that SOAP note documentation is frequently a mandated protocol for an organization or research project. Documentation holds health professionals and community health workers accountable for their actions. Documentation protects both the professional and the patient as it is considered the authentication of a visit or engagement with a patient. Finally, documentation is often a requirement for reimbursement by providers, insurance, and other paying entities. SOAP is a mnemonic that stands for subjective, objective, assessment, and plan. A SOAP note is the most commonly used format for documentation. It is used by all types of medical personnel, including doctors, therapists, and clinicians, to document visits and treatment. Here you can read that Susan has called to report that she is having difficulty checking her blood sugar. She says that she doesn't know how to work her blood glucose monitor. Subjective includes the patient's subjective information, often a summary statement based on what the patient has told the community health worker or a direct quote from the patient. Susan cannot demonstrate use of her blood glucose monitor. The objective portion of the clinical note is observable data or information that coincides with a subjective statement. In this section, accuracy and details are important. The assessment is your professional and clinical judgment based not on the subjective and objective statements that you have observed and recorded. Susan doesn't know how to use her blood glucose monitor, so she has not been checking her blood sugar. Record only relevant information to the condition of the patient and any other information you deem helpful in curing and speeding up the recovery of your patient. It is important to remember that a community health worker should not provide a diagnosis of a condition. Only a medical professional can provide a diagnosis. Provided instructions for Susan regarding the use of her blood glucose monitor. Susan will check her blood glucose twice daily. She will report frequent highs or lows to her physician so that he can determine if medication modifications should be made. The plan includes your intentions for future practical and clinical education, monitoring, or homework that was given. Include any referrals or interventions that have been suggested or made, and any follow-up needed or completed. You can use this section to explain the goal of your work with the patient. Note the quality of documentation. It's very important that documentation be accurate and succinct, include proper punctuation, contain no errors in grammar or spelling, be signed or annotated with the author's name, be written in narrative format, and be without blank or empty lines. SOAP Notes by Eclectic DNA, LLC is a new app for the iPhone or iPad. An early adapter of the ASOP format, Dr. C.T. Lin, Chief Medical Information Officer of Aurora, Colorado-based University of Colorado Health, said that physicians often flip right to the assessment page of paper charts to see what previous visits or referring doctors may have found. By this reasoning, it makes more sense to put the assessment and play first in an electronic note, according to Lynn. Lynn was the lead author of a paper published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, Internal Medicine, in January 2013 that found that SOAP translates poorly from paper medical charts to the electronic health record because it takes a lot of clicking and scrolling to find the assessment and plan. The article detailed a 2010 study at 13 University of Colorado Health ambulatory clinics that produced mostly positive results from an ASOP trial.